I did it. I did a project. And it took so long. Caused me to lose some sleep. And I did it for the best holiday in the world. And I promised myself I wouldn't do it again because of all the hard work and stress it caused me, making me panic I wouldn't have it done on time. I didn't want to go through that again. And yet I broke that promise to honor another great holiday. Only this time, it wasn't just 25 days. It was a whole month's worth of content. I watched those monster films. I watched the Charlie Brown. I saw Scary Godmother and Hotel Transylvania and the Tim Burton stuff. I saw those weird TV specials and the Addams Family. For you, this was 31 days, but for me, it was a whole month's work. I made this a priority for myself since the beginning of September. And I did it when I thought about this project in the beginning of October, thinking I wouldn't have it done on time. And I proved myself wrong. I proved myself wrong. I would never second guess myself after this, because this proved that I am able to do anything that my mind thinks.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, the field we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, hello, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleigh song tonight. Sing with me, jingle bells, jingle, ow, 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 ow.
So, is it just a known fact that when it's Halloween Day, corporations and basically any network on television thinks it's okay to bombard us with Christmas stuff? Why can't you just let us celebrate the day and then we worry about Christmas stuff on November 1st? Why is it that 2 years ago, when I woke up Halloween morning, I put on the TV and like the first thing I saw was a bunch of Christmas commercials? Why is it that when I'm trying to enjoy Nightmare Before Christmas on Freeform on Halloween Day, you have to remind me not only is your Christmas marathon coming up, but also you've decided to do a November-long Christmas marathon. It's not Christmas in November. I'm starting to feel like Halloween isn't getting the credit that it needs to be. October 31st is Halloween. That means anything holly jolly, anything Santa-related, anything that involves the context of Christmas should not even be a thought on October 31st. Let us enjoy the tricks or treats, the ghost stories, and whatever other weird Halloween crap you like doing. Let us enjoy it for one day. And then when November 1st comes, then we can get into the Christmas mood. But right now, it's Halloween. Can we please do one thing at a time? Anyway, welcome to the show. Hey, happy Halloween. This is Hocus Pocus. Released in 1993, this Halloween tale tells the story of the Sanderson sisters in Salem, Massachusetts, who practice dark witchcraft and perform a spell to steal the youth of children to make themselves live forever. 300 years later, after their hanging, a young boy named Max and his family move into town, and on Halloween night, while watching over his little sister Danny, he tries to impress the pretty girl in his class, Allison. They all go to the old house of the Sandersons, which has now become a museum, and Max, while trying to look cool in front of Allison, accidentally lights the black candle. And he's a virgin. Those two facts combined bring the Sanderson sisters back from the dead, and now Max, Danny, and Allison, along with a young boy from the 1600s who was turned into a cat, have to stop the sisters from stealing the lives of children everywhere in order for them to live forever. Hocus Pocus is such a bad film. It is horrible. It's so on the nose of what it wants to do. It is cringy. The dialogue is horrible. The acting is semi-okay. This is one of those films where it is so terrible. It is so cringy to watch and just so badly put together when it comes to the story that it's so enjoyable. I mean, if you know The Room by Tommy Wiseau, you might have a good idea where I'm taking this discussion. The Room is known to be one of the best, worst films ever made. Well, while The Room may have that title, I consider Hocus Pocus to be one of the best, worst Halloween movies ever to be made. It is that bad and that laughable to watch. The first time I ever saw Hocus Pocus was, I want to say maybe like 4 years ago. The first time I watched this, I was kind of confused. I mean, I was entertained, but I knew something wasn't right. I think mentally I wasn't accepting the fact that this is how the film was going, and I knew it could be a lot better. That was my way of saying, dude, you are watching something absolutely horrible. What are you doing? Like I said, the acting was semi-okay, but Jesus Christ, it could have been a lot better. I know the women that play the Sanderson sisters, they are giving it their all. And they do a really good job portraying these characters. You know, I never really put blame on the actors who are doing these films, because they're just following orders, they're reading the script, and they're trying to give it their all. And, you know, I will say, nobody in this film was bad in particular, because everybody was trying. But just the way their characters were written, you could have done a lot better. That school scene in the beginning was ridiculous. There should have been no reason why everybody ganged up on Max, who's the new kid, mind you, and he makes a comment, and everybody just gangs up on him. Like, that girl Allison, she just becomes like this nerd at one point, like, actually, this is based on a real fact. You gotta do your research, boy! She gets an applause after she throws facts in Max's face. Obviously, he's making comments about things he doesn't know, and sure, he doesn't want to be there. He wishes he was back home in California. That's where the family was originally from. But he doesn't want to be there, but everybody's just starting to give him this hard time. It's like, let's calm down a bit. That was a horrible trick-or-treating scene, too. Like, what was that trick-or-treating scene? Danny just goes off and is starting to get all upset. Like, hey, you think I wanted to move too? I want to have a good Halloween. And she runs off onto somebody else's lawn and starts crying. And Max he just walks up, he's like, hey, I'm sorry. And it's just magically okay. Like, nothing mattered of what was just said. And I get a kick out of what follows after that. They walk up to this house, which belongs to Allison's family, of course. And every other house, they just go up to the door, they ring the doorbell, and they trick-or-treat, and they get the candy. What do they do in this house? They walk into the actual house. Who just walks into somebody else's house on Halloween? There's multiple scenes with the Sanderson sisters. Because they're witches, they fly on brooms. But there's one scene where one of them flies on a vacuum. The vacuum was pretty funny, I'll admit that. The thing I got a bit of an issue with is they're flying and screaming. They're like, "Oh, Winnie, what are we doing? I get the book." There's one scene where one of the sisters is just coming out from the corner, and like, I don't know. It's like, the best way I can describe it is like watching something directly from the camera happen, and in your head you're like, "Oh, we'll fix that in post," and then you just like never fix it. Personally, me, it just seemed like a big mess. They got a cat in the film that talks. They turn this young boy from the 1600s, whose sister was, I don't want to say killed, but she had the life sucked out of her, which gave the Sanderson sisters the ability to look young like they do in the film. To prevent him from stopping them, they turned him into a cat. And he's just kind of been a cat for years, just kind of guarding the house. There's a scene right after Max lights the black candle that brings him to life, which... Why is he getting picked on that he's a virgin? He's a teenager! He's like, what, 13 in this film? What's the big deal? The cat jumps onto him after they're brought back. He's like, "Oh, nice going, kid." Like, where did that come from? The kid who was turned into a cat, his name is Thackeray, but everybody calls him Binks. And Binks leads them all to the graveyard, and there's a scene where Binks is explaining the whole story of the Sanderson sisters and what happened to him. And it just looks like they're all bored. Like, they're just sitting in this graveyard on Halloween night, listening to this cat talk about how he became a cat and what went on with the sisters, and they all just look like they don't want to be there. There's a costume party in this film. The parents of Danny and Max go to it, and they're all having fun, and then the Sanderson sisters come, they sing their song, which everybody knows the song. So the sisters sing their song, and I guess put a spell on everybody at that party, and they just dance. They're all just dancing, I guess mindlessly, I don't know. And that's it, that's the last time we see the parents. We get a quick glimpse at them still dancing at the party, because there's a scene where Max brings Allison back to his house, like, after they think they killed the Sanderson sisters. They all go back to Max and Danny's house, and Max is like, "Oh, I guess Mom and Dad aren't home yet." And they cut back to the parents still dancing at the party. I don't know if that was supposed to symbolize that the spell wasn't broken and that the Sanderson sisters were not dead. I'm not entirely sure. I took it as we're seeing these people still dancing at this party, which at this point, you know, it's not even Halloween anymore. We transitioned from Halloween night into the morning of November 1st. That, it kind of makes me wonder, you know, what... Are these people still there dancing? Like, even after the Sanderson sisters were completely destroyed, do the parents... Are they still dancing? We don't get a clarification. We don't get an end credit scene. We don't get a post-credit scene. We don't get any clarification if these parents ever stopped dancing. And maybe we did, and I just so happened to watch a version that didn't show that scene. Whenever they play it on TV, they always end it with Binks and his little sister walking off to heaven because they're ghosts now. That ending was really stupid too. But you know what's the most interesting thing about Hocus Pocus? Despite the fact that this film has a lot it needed to improve on, and it's just really hard to watch sometimes, it is so entertaining, it's enjoyable, it's funny, and I think because of all that, it managed to make itself a cult classic for the Halloween season. Everybody watches Hocus Pocus on Halloween. And I had this thing I was going to say about Hocus Pocus being essentially the Christmas story of Halloween, because Freeform would play Hocus Pocus all day on Halloween. Like a marathon of it. Not in the sense that they would play it 24 hours like they would A Christmas Story. They'd play it I don't know, 4 or 5 times. I was gonna say that's the extent that it was brought up on, and that definitely happened the past few years, but it's not happening surprisingly this year. I guess they got complaints that it was being played too much and that other films deserve the time slot on Halloween. So I believe this year Hocus Pocus is only being played once this year on Halloween. But I mean, marathon aside, this goes way beyond a typical marathon, because it was like 1 or 2 years ago, they did like a live event for the anniversary of Hocus Pocus. I want to say maybe it was the 25th anniversary, and they did a live performance of all the songs. I know that girl from Liv and Maddie was there. I remember her being one of the faces. I didn't watch it. I wasn't interested in seeing it. I even hear they're making a sequel that's going to be exclusive for Disney Plus, which I don't know how you'd be able to make a sequel off of Hocus Pocus. What is it? The two sisters, Sarah and Mary, they exploded in the sky, and Winifred, who's like the leader of the sisters, she became a tombstone, and then I think she exploded. So I don't know how you'd be able to do a sequel based off of Hocus Pocus, unless there's a hidden story that nobody knew about, or we just focus on different characters. I don't really know. What, am I going to see it? Probably. People love this film. People really enjoy Hocus Pocus. Do I enjoy it? Yeah. And I don't even enjoy it ironically. I think it's very entertaining. Of course it's bad and hard to watch at times, but if I gotta argue anything positive about Hocus Pocus, it's screaming Halloween. I think it is probably one of the most Halloween-y kind of films that I've seen so far in this lineup. I mean, Fun Size is up there, and Nightmare Before Christmas is always going to be up there. But in regards to Hocus Pocus, there is so much Halloween spirit in this film. The way the town is, the leaves everywhere, the colors. Colors are important. There's a scene in the beginning which looks just so autumn-like. There's red and orange and yellow leaves everywhere. It's so cool to look at. Yeah, if I gotta say anything about this film that's positive, this film has the look of Halloween, and I really admire that. Also, very original to make a witch story take place in Salem. I've been to Salem. It was cool. I didn't go around October. I went in like April. So that's all I got for Hocus Pocus. That's all I gotta say about it. If you've never seen Hocus Pocus, you gotta check it out. I know this is the last day of the project. This is going up on the 31st, Halloween Day. So clearly any Halloween activities are going to be put off until next year probably for you. But if you've never seen it before, make it a priority next year to check out Hocus Pocus. Or I mean, you don't even have to wait until Halloween. What am I saying? I'm stupid sometimes. Yeah, it doesn't have to be Halloween. It can be whatever. Watch it during Thanksgiving dinner. That'd be a perfect time. If you have seen Hocus Pocus, though, I'd love to hear what you think about it. Do you agree with me on thinking that it's really bad, or do you disagree with me? Do you think it's the best film ever made? Yeah, what are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Do you watch it ironically? I'd love to hear your thoughts in those comments. And with that, my ghouls and goblins and other Halloween character nicknames I can give you, that's the end of the project! We have made it to our final few minutes of this project. I'm going to put these back because I don't want to play with them anymore. After all this time, we've made it here. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to actually get through this. I made a promise to myself, not only that I wouldn't do anything like this again, that one was actually true in the beginning. I made a promise in the beginning of this process that if I did not have more than 15 videos filmed and at least 10 videos edited before October 1st, I was going to scrap this project. Obviously, that did not happen, and we went through with this, and I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me sit here for 20 minutes every day and discuss a different Halloween film. If I gotta be honest, yeah, it did kind of stress me out a little, and yeah, I kind of panicked a little thinking I wasn't going to make it on time with a lot of these videos. But I'm actually surprised that I managed to get all this done. And I really enjoyed the stuff that I watched this year. You know, it's going back to the Christmas project. When I did the Christmas series, that was the first time I saw a lot of films like Arthur Christmas and Miracle on 34th Street and any of the Christmas carols. The Halloween series gave me a chance to watch things I've actually been interested in seeing for a while and things I never thought I would see. Like Fun Size was one of them. Corpse Bride was definitely one of them. Yeah, I stick with what I said in the beginning of the month. The Universal monster films are really good. I'm really glad I got to see those. Halloween Town was something I never saw before. I saw a few of the TV specials beforehand, like The Grinch and Witch's Night Out, and yeah, even Michael Jackson's Halloween. Some of them I haven't seen in years, like Casper and Coraline. I have not seen those since I first saw them. It was nice. It was a fun way for me to get into the Halloween spirit, and I liked it. I had fun doing this project. I'm surprised I didn't make that many jokes about how this project was going to kill me in the end. Haha, the Halloween joke. Not really. Yeah, so I had fun. Hopefully you had fun too. Hopefully this put you in the Halloween spirit. It gave you something to watch during Halloween. Now before I wrap this up forever, I'd like to quickly talk about some honorable mentions. I wasn't originally going to do this. I didn't do it in the Christmas series, but I figured I'd do it for this one, mostly because despite me originally saying that I struggled looking for some Halloween content to talk about, in the end I had too many. How ironic is that? Some of these come from, I don't know who this person is, Nesaya Lucero? I'm probably butchering your name, I'm sorry, but yeah, so some of these were also recommended from this person. I think on my trailer video, I just got like this big list of movies. Some of them they mentioned I already had planned to talk about, and then there were others that I'm like, oh, that's right, that is something I could have included. Well, that's all that I got. So thanks for watching the series. Hope everybody had a great October. If this Halloween season did not spook you up enough, well, get ready because it's coming back next year. So you got a whole another year to look forward to spooks and Halloween fun. Trust me, this Halloween came a bit fast. I still remember last Halloween. That all said, that's the end of the project. Thank you for watching it, and I hope all of you enjoy the rest of your Halloween night. Thanks for watching The Wild Review on The Wild Reviewer, and you've been watching 25... God damn it! My least favorite thing to talk about in this project was Addams Family 2019, if anybody was wondering.